Welcome to the 8th episode of the Screwup Exchange, where we're going to talk about how trust, data, and verification will lead you to succeed in the new digital age. Hi, my name is Patrick.
Hi, my name is Drasko. Patrick, do you, recently when we did our first episode and I was thinking later about this first trip to the States, to Portland, and it's funny thing that I remembered there was like, I arrived on the airport, I went to the car rental, I got a Mustang, a Ford Mustang. Yeah, it was the first thing that was really surprised how easy it was, like with National, to get a car there. So and how friendly these guys were, giving me a Mustang, which was even more. That was very expensive to rent, but they realized I'm from Germany, first time there, and they're just like,
never gotten a Mustang. You lucky.
I will tell you some more stories about the car experience. So, but the funny thing was, in these days, we still had a GPS because I think Google Maps didn't work that well. I don't remember why we used a GPS. So I got a GPS from National, and I was looking at the address where my hotel is. So I was just punching in the street name, and so that was it. And I drove to Portland downtown. I was thinking that that my hotel is somewhere in downtown, right? So I ended up like somewhere like in a very creepy area, like when you watch these movies, creepy movies, it's like somewhere next to the river, and it's like just industrial. And I was thinking, what the hell happened here? Where is the hotel? It cannot be that I would have a hotel here.
So wait, you didn't put in the hotel name in the GPS? You just took the address, or
just took the address, the street name, and I forgot
the number?
The number. And the streets are long in the US.
So,
so that I didn't realize. So, it was something like, going first time somewhere and you're not very prepared with everything. You just trust something, and that's how it happened. Well, funny thing. But then I corrected the failure very fast, and I reached the hotel at the waterfront.
So you didn't trust the information that was given to you in the GPS? Wow.
Oh, I did, something like this, right?
Oh, that reminds me of a story. Not so similar as me putting information into like a GPS, but I was tasked to do a quality project at one of the factories. So I was doing some Six Sigma projects, and one of the parts is you have to go and get the information. So I'm not going to...
Six Sigma is like a...
Yeah, so Six Sigma is Six Sigma standard deviation. It's a project management tool. It's kind of like lean management, but it's more for like very technical things.
Statistics. And
exactly. Yeah. So...
Probably you could be a good guy to interpretate these numbers of Corona and everywhere, right?
Yeah. Okay. No, it's really cool. Like
we will talk about this later.
Yeah, we could do some correlation and some seeing the different variables. But what was really interesting, when you do a Six Sigma project, you have to trust the information. If you do not trust the information, it's pretty much garbage. As they say, garbage in, garbage out.
Shit in, shit out, right? I'm sorry.
We say garbage in.
Okay.
But what happened was, in the Six Sigma methodology, there is a certain way to go collect information. So, number one, I'm trying not to get too technical, but you have to, if you are observing the information, so if like you don't pull it out of the system, but like I had to go train people to go collect information, quality information. So the person is actually determining if it's a good part or it's a bad part.
Okay, got it, yeah.
So in order to do that, you need an expert. And usually you get like the quality expert and he says,
additional expert besides you?
Besides me.
Got it.
I'm just the numbers expert. And this guy is like, he tells the people, is like, this is a good part.
Oh, okay.
This is a bad part.
Got it.
And then the people have to say, they have to agree with the expert and says, yes, that is a good part, or yes, that is a bad part. If they don't, then you have to train the auditors to match the quality expert.
Mm-hmm.
So you follow me? So
Yeah.
and in order to do this, there's a way to set up a process to go get that. And it takes forever.
Okay.
It takes forever. You have to get 3 different people. You have to get at least 10 parts, and you have to do it twice. And that's if you do it perfectly the first time. So like all 3 people have to agree amongst themselves, and they have to agree with the expert.
Okay.
So after the 4th time we did this, so like we had to, they completely failed the first time. I'm like, okay, so like I couldn't even see where the major failure was, and we're just like, okay, this is what a good part looks like. That's a good part, bad part. We did it again. Okay, they got slightly better.
Okay.
The 3rd time, they got slightly better.
Oh my gosh.
But they were starting to see which ones were starting to fail more.
Okay.
So like, okay, so now we can kind of focus on just these areas, and then like by the 4th, I can't remember, 4th or 5th time, they were really starting to dial it in, and on the 6th time, they just did perfectly.
Oh, okay.
Perfectly.
Okay.
You see where I'm going with this, right?
Yeah, I think I can imagine. Yeah.
Oh, so I was so happy. I was like, because I was even getting frustrated. I'm like, it's like, okay, this is taking a lot of time. We have to do a lot of training. This over a course of a week.
Oh, it was like a whole week you did this? Oh my
God, this was a week just to get to the point where they could go collect information by themselves, where I didn't have to be there. So like they did that. They basically were ready to go, and I was so happy. So because our project was falling behind.
Okay.
And I was so happy that they could finally do it, and then I can do something else. So it was on the 2nd or 3rd day, I was going, because we needed to collect a week's worth of information. I saw the guys collecting some information, and then I saw an extra sheet to the side. I'm like, what is that? And one of the guys kind of looked at me and was just like, oh, you caught me. And I'm like, what is that? It's just like, well, I don't want to say because you're going to get mad. I'm like, what is that?
Okay.
I was like, well, we kind of got together and all agreed to look at it these same ways. So basically, as we say, pencil whip, just fill in the correct answers.
Okay.
And I'm like, you can't do that. Was this just today? And he's just like,
no, they did it the whole week.
They did it the whole week. And I was just like, oh.
That's crazy. Like everything was Murphy's Law, right?
Oh my God. So I had to throw out, it was like 3 or 4 days worth of information.
Oh my gosh. And
it wasn't just them collecting it. It was 3 or 4 days of me compiling the information to get ready for this presentation. So it was basically.
You trusted them, right?
I trusted them.
Okay.
And I really should have done more spot checks. If I would have done this on the first day.
Like more frequently double checking what they do.
Yeah, like
if
just, I'm sorry, go ahead.
No.
Yeah, so like if I would have went on the first day, I probably would have caught them doing the cheat sheet.
Yeah.
So I should have, that was my fault, because there was a couple of reasons that I could have done this better. Number one, I saw that they were getting frustrated. So I had a suspicion in the back of my head because it was perfect the last time. And even the last time, I'm like, that rarely, if ever, happens. I think I was personally just happy for it to be done with, because I was getting tired of giving the training. And so, like, I didn't listen to myself. And the second one was I love to engage people. I love to give trust and let them do the work. But even when you do that, you have to come in and do like a quick check every once in a while. And I should have did that on the first day. So, those were my main 2 key takeaways, is like really just trust yourself. Like when something looks a little too good to be true, and usually is. Yeah, I'm sure that's ever happened to you.
But I have a question. What would happen if you wouldn't find this out and you would have this bad data in your? How would this impact your next steps, the project? Would it be like that bad, or it would go in a different direction?
So it's
how to say how?
Yeah, I can answer that. There's a couple of ways. One, if I didn't catch it, it was a roll of the dice.
Yeah.
If the project would have revealed the results that we needed, because basically we were trusting the information that we thought was correct, even though it might have been correct, but we don't know for certainty. It wasn't statistically significant where we could say, yes, I 100% agree with this.
I see. Yeah,
so the project would have gone into a different direction. Luckily, it wasn't like so much money that it would have done that, but it was a training project, so I was teaching somebody. And then the other side was, I would have thought that was good. So like if I did another project in the future, I would have thought that this was okay. And I would have caught it. So if the stakes were much higher in a different project, then we would have had, could have had a much bigger issue. So I was lucky to catch it early.
Yeah, that's what I want to come up with is bad data can cause a really different approach or project, different results, and you go to a different way. And that's what I wanted to point out here as well.
Yeah.
So not only trusting, it's only beside the trust and that something went wrong is also that this data, what you're gathering there is like something, what can lead you in a different direction. Yeah?
Absolutely. So like if you don't have good information, and it's going to lead you into the wrong direction. So you have to have good information, and you have to trust your data, and you have to be confident in it. So
and data is very important, especially in those days. Something can get wrong in the wrong direction if the data is misinterpreted, right?
Well, I think it really in the future, like data is going to be king. So like, like we're doing a lot of stuff with like digitalization, and I can just,
it's a new oil.
It really is. Data is really like the new oil. So like I see this happening more and more and more with people because they've always done it this way in the past, and they say, okay, well, why do I need to change? And he's like, honestly, it was probably just luck of the dice that you've able to operate. But like going forward, like we're going to be laser focused on certain areas, and we're going to have to move the needle in certain different ways. And you can only do that with good information.
I see that. So. Thanks. We don't want that our screw-ups become yours. Watch our 9th episode of the Screw-Up Exchange and see how Cherry Blossom, Alabama, and training are connected.